Make sure you read the 40 Laws of Power because then you'll be unstoppable and you'll be able to manipulate people. You know there's a reason why it's banned in prison. Alright, now how many of you have heard that statement before? I'm sure you all get excited thinking that you can trick people and become good at manipulation. But it's not that easy. These books you see online about how they can make you rich and powerful are true to some degree, but it's mainly just to boost your ego. It won't actually teach you anything related to making money, but it'll provide you the skills and tactics so you can use it to help you find a way to make money. You have to keep in mind the author might have spent between months and years to write these books, so just for you to read it once and know everything is very unlikely. There's a low chance of you applying it and everything going to plan. Some people can do it, but the majority of people like you and me can't do it because we don't have the brain capacity. So what can we do? Well, just read it again and again until you're confident with the information. But that's very boring. What you can do is write down the important stuff in a book and just focus on that. Because then after a while, after reading many books, you'll have a collection of important stuff that apply to you. With all these books, it's very reluctant to do anything extra with the book other than read it. Because I might not speak for everyone, but in general, we feel entitled that just because we read this book about how to be better or how to build a business, we're expecting results without having to do anything or take initiative. You can read books all you want, but if you don't do anything with that information, you won't get anywhere. We all know we need to do that, but we just don't want to because we don't want to accept that reality. Reading books is without a doubt beneficial for your mind and health. You'd much rather see a child reading a book than doom scrolling on TikTok. Even if that child is reading a bad book that's not good for them, you'd still rather them read the book than watch the videos. Because you look at it at a way that the child is becoming smarter. It's simple psychology. Parents see the child read and subconsciously think to themselves, wow, that child's learning new words. They're becoming better. They're being smart. It doesn't matter what book they're reading, as long as they're reading. Reading books is correlated with the higher income. So the more books someone reads, the higher the income they'll have. Why do we think this is? Well, it's obvious. Reading books makes you smart. But does it make you rich? You can give a child 300 books to read over the course of their teenage years, but you can strand them on an island without anything. How will their future turn out? Well, with the knowledge they've gained from reading, they can build infrastructure and find ways to live, but they can't do much more because they're limited due to their environment. If you're living in a place with internet and access to the world, you can become rich in just a matter of time and persistence. When you read the books, you gain information, and with that information, you can choose to apply it and become rich over time. So let's say, for example, you're a physics student and you've read quite over 100 books prior to taking physics. The chances are that you'll find physics pretty easy and able to progress far in the academic world. You might even be accepted to a well-paying research project. And so with your knowledge, you may find it easier to apply certain theories and find new discoveries. With all this, you'll rise in status and wealth to the point where you can teach others and become self-branded. The only concern is that reading books doesn't always give you the information you need to succeed. I wouldn't consider a gamble, but because of the array of books and how many there are out there, finding the right one can be tricky. It's different from the early years where all you had was a library and that was your selection of books. It's a small amount, so choosing was easier, and your brain would be wired to accept and apply the information that you'd read because you knew there wasn't anything better. You were just limited to those libraries. And I compare it to now where one topic has tens of thousands of books, so finding one is very difficult. What I'm trying to say is reading gives you the skills to excel in life, but don't expect books to magically give you all the information you need. Think of it as a bit-by-bit improvement, where each book gives you just that bit more information that can be helpful towards your journey. I'd recommend reading books related to your career of choice so you can understand more and more and be efficient through your job. It can take its time because reading is time-consuming and applying it to your scenario isn't easy. But just like anything else, through minor improvements and consistency, you will succeed. It's just a matter of time. Books are your friend. Always check up on them and learn more about them. Thank you for watching.